got a talented block. We have a talented block.
We sure do.
There's no denying that. Hello, No Saint. All right, everybody, let's bring the beautiful people in closer. There you go. They gotta get a good look at this. No Saint's having some technical difficulty, obviously. All right, he will get it together eventually.
Tech is difficult.
What's up, chat? Hold us down. Welcome to Saturday's Sexy Saturdays episode of On the Block with Jen. I am yours truly and your devil's advocate, Jen from On the Block with Jen. You can reach me on all social media platforms, On the Block with Jen, except for Facebook. So that means TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and On the Block with Jen at Gmail for business, or you could throw topics in there. If you want to talk about anything that goes on this show, throw it in there. If you want to contact one of us, please do. And also, if you want to support the show, you can do the Cash Apps. It is also On the Block with Jen for the Cash App. Nothing like getting a good Cash App when we're not even on air. Also, that is for full discretion. A lot of people don't like other people seeing where their money goes, and they like to support behind the scenes. Unless you want me to shout you out that you are a sponsor of the show, I'll be more than happy to. Usually people Cash App when they don't want people in their business. If you don't care about people in your business, feel free to super chat. You know where that goes. Hello, No Saint. You good?
I'm good now.
Okay. Hi. Welcome.
Hello.
Lily, I am feeling the royal. Introduce your royal self.
All right. Well, I am Lily of YB Limited. That's the letter Y, the letter B, the word limited, the way it is spelled here on the screen. You can find me here on YouTube as well as Instagram, Facebook, and yes, TikTok as well. I started my career as a makeup artist, and then I moved over into modeling, acting, and then those roles led me here to the block with my team.
And I'm Heron DeMarco, musician, producer. You can find me as Dangerous DeMarco on Instagram, and you can find me as Heron DeMarco under Spotify and Apple Music.
Hello, everyone. I'm No Saint. You can find me here at No Saint on YouTube. Please subscribe. And also on Saint, No Saint, st.no Saint on Instagram. Thank you very much.
Oh, cool. It's on me. Oh, shit.
Yep.
I feel special. I get to do an intro. Thank you. My name is Corey. You can find me on Instagram at OKCorey or YouTube at Corey's Crib. I'm a software engineer. I'm a man of many talents.
Okay. Give us one. Give us one talent.
Poetry.
Okay. All right. All right, chat. Hold us down. If you're here for the first time, where the hell you been? Hi, welcome to the block. Don't forget to follow everybody. I will be putting the banner up and down so you can see everyone's name, so you can follow them. That is how you support. We are a group. This is a group venture, and we have a lot of content coming for you guys as a group. We will be doing in studio, all of us together. So you guys will be seeing us, all of us together very, very soon. Coming at you very, very soon. So we'll get to see each other. We'll get to see who's tall, who's short, who got a booty, who don't, who stink, who don't stink, who could cook, who can't cook. We got all that coming. We got all that coming for y'all. So please follow all of us. So if you missed this stream, you'll catch it on Heron DeMarco, No Saint, or Lily's, or David, Mr. David Hand, who's going to be a little late. Okay, so follow us, follow us, follow us. I can't stress it enough. I hope you guys are feeling good tonight. So girls just want to have fun. Girls just want to have fun. It's more than a song, you guys. So tonight's topic, wait a minute. Is there any fluff tonight, guys?
Yes, I have 2 stories tonight.
No, say fluff us, baby, fluff us.
So what do we want first? Do we want what's going on in the world, or do we want the scientific story? Okay, I'm going to go with the story first. The story from what happened today around the world. So the Wagner Group. So what is the Wagner Group? They're a mercenary group set up by Putin to go in, and like they've been in Syria, they've been in parts of Africa, and they were fighting in the Ukraine. Now they were put in by he put the head guy, I'm reading, of course, because this name is Prigozhin. That was a friend of his that goes way back. And evidently what happened was he wasn't getting supplied well. He's over in the Ukraine holding the town down, and something happened today. The helicopters attacked that group, and that group started a march towards Moscow. It was chaos this morning. They were about 200 miles outside of Moscow. And they did stop Belarus, which is an ally of Russia's. They're a communist country with a dictator that had been that way for a long time. They really don't have a lot of power, but he brokered a deal between Putin and his friend Prigozhin. And it was sort of interesting because Putin came on with a speech, and basically these people are going to pay. And I guess the deal is, I don't know what the deal is right now, but evidently it was a coup attempt. And what really is kind of crazy about this is, they're saying it's hurting Putin's power. His power is slipping. But in Russia's history, when they're in these wars, this is when this kind of stuff happens, where there's a turnover in government. Like it happened in 1970 after World War I. And then in the 90s, there was almost a coup there with Yeltsin, I think, was the president at the time. And here we are. He's bogged down in the Ukraine, and his own mercenary group was about 200 miles away from the capital, and was saying that he was announcing the man that was running the mercenary group was saying we're going to have a new president. Kind of crazy what happened today.
Would you consider Putin a dictator?
I mean,
or just a president?
No, he's kind of a dictator. I mean, yeah, I mean, their elections they have elections, but it's kind of not like he takes off and then he comes back and they put him back in. But yeah, there's a lot of oligarchs over there that push him in there, and he wants to make Russia like the old Soviet Union days, because he was part of the KGB. So he remembers the good old days. And so that's kind of why you see him moving into trying to take over the Ukraine. There's a lot of other geopolitical stuff too to that, but he that's one of his things. He really wants to, bring the Soviet Union back to status like it was when we were growing up. But
I'm asking. Go ahead, Kari. We're losing you. You're like drowning. Can you push your monitor down?
So I was going to say, I briefly saw a story today that said Putin left Russia, so he's on the run. He's running.
Oh, so the plot thickens.
Yeah.
I didn't read the whole story. I just saw like a headline that said Putin left Russia. I didn't know why. I didn't really read the whole story, but
I haven't seen that yet. But it's
from a coup.
You gotta.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet, but could happen.
Yeah, I was seeing the top about the coup this morning as well. So it's looking real crazy. Like these are a big turn of events according to what the media is saying. So I'm just sitting back, sipping slow, and waiting to see what's going on.
Do you think there will be any after effects for the USA, or are we completely out the way?
Well, I mean, this would. Who knows how it would end? You never can really plan it, but I would say that it's definitely it would look favorable for the U.S. if this happened, because it looks like if this kind of thing would happen, they would be out of the Ukraine.
Mm-hmm. But see, the U.S. reminds me of this girl I know, right? It's this girl I know, right? She's a pretty girl. She got a lot of good potential, right? Pretty girl, nice body, all of that good stuff, right? But it's like she goes out of her way to fuck something up every single time I see her. It's going to be everything will be put together except the makeup. Everything will be put together except the hair. Everything will be put together except the shoes. It's like she goes out of her way to fuck something up. And so I got a feeling even if we get moved out the way, we'll go out of our way to find our way back into some shit. So that's why I said I'm sitting back, sipping slow, and see how this going to go.
Okay. And I don't know how long you want to hang on that. I can go with the next story.
Well, I did want to add that is it true, or is it not true? When they describe Putin as a tyrant, a tyrannical, murderous, a torturous person. Is that true, or are those just rumors? Or is that true? Is it factual?
I think it's true. Yeah, I mean, he definitely now. Maybe he's just not good at it, or maybe he just doesn't care.
I was just about to say he's just not good at it. That's what it is. He's just not good at it because he's not doing anything different than the people who are not getting caught.
Yeah, I mean, but definitely every time that he's got some kind of someone criticizing him, and then they'll end up in a hospital or pushed out a window in a hospital somewhere with radiation sickness.
Okay, so that falls under dictator. He's a dictator then.
He's a strong man.
But he's not as bad as some of the other people have been. Yeah. Like, he gets rid of people, but he lets them live. He might throw them in jail for a long time. Other people just kill you and your family.
Mm-hmm.
Especially China, like they go missing left and right.
North Korea. That's
Oh yeah, they're the absolute worst. Yeah, definitely the absolute worst.
Yeah, because you escape North Korea, and then your family gets thrown in jail and gets tortured and has to work until they die. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's really bad.
Rather brutal.
Yeah. And Iran is really, really crazy too, but they're like so secluded. We don't even really know exactly what's going on up in there. Yeah, it's crazy out here. I've watched a lot of little documentaries on North Korea because it's always been interesting to me. Very interesting. Like how they have these whole cities built up and like the buildings are empty and no one can go into them, and then some of them are just a facade, like it's just a piece of brick behind it.
The hotel is the only really decent building that and then what always makes me like man is the traffic ladies that have no traffic to direct, but yet they're doing stopping and turning and come on, let's go.
It's the craziest thing to watch. I'm like, what is going on?
We have any footage? The fact that we have any footage from North Korea is just brave. Some brave acts upon people that filmed it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because some of the documentaries I've seen, they've almost gotten caught, or they have to keep checking them and stuff because you got to be assigned someone. You have to go through all this red tape to even be able to enter the country. Then once you enter the country, then you have somebody appointed to be with you 24 hours a day. And it's insane.
And how often in our history has a dictator been overthrown? No, Saint, you're like that TV sitcom where the guy was like this over in the backyard. I forgot the name of the sitcom.
Wait, you can't see my face?
I can see your face, but you're down here. This is what you're doing
because now. It's okay. I have to fix that
there
eventually.
You go. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Hopefully
right
it'll
there.
Stay like that. Hopefully.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. It's the little things that fucking work my nerve. No, Saint, you know how I am. Please. It's the little fucking thing. Everybody get in your damn square. Look,
Hold on. Breaking news.
What?
LSU in the 11th inning just hit a home run again. Not to win it yet, but to take the lead in the College World Series.
I'm thinking we about to hear something about Putin.
I thought Putin got killed.
Right.
I mean, listen, I hung in there until this show started, and I was like, it's 3-3. It's extra innings again. So it's the best of three. It's the best of three, and the same. No, it wasn't the same guy, but a different. Yeah. So anyway, that's exciting. It ain't over yet, but it's exciting for me.
Okay. I thought Putin got killed. That's the shit.
I'm like, we about to turn up now. This is about to get real good.
So I got my next story. The next story.
Okay, the science story.
So we're gonna talk about what the FDA approved today, which is cultivated meat. It's a cell-based meat that is developed from animal cells that's grown with the help of amino acids and in a massive bioreactor. It is real meat.
Bioreactor? I don't remember any bioreactor in my meat. No thing.
No, but this is how they grow it. They grow it. So it's real meat. They approved chicken. They haven't approved beef yet, and they haven't approved pork yet. That's coming. And the person that tried it said it tastes like chicken.
Was he black?
Well, there were more than one person that tried it. It is not
Jen should be there for the test group.
It is not in your grocery stores yet. It will be served at some restaurants. Eventually, going to the grocery store. It is more expensive at this point, but they're gonna sell it at actually at a loss, so people will try it. I know how some people feel about it. But it is real meat. It is not fake meat. It's not like the Impossible Burger where they make something taste like something it's not. This is actually the same thing. They're just growing it. And for me,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, for me, if you can take the horrid situations that these animals are in so we can enjoy our steaks and our burgers and our chicken and everything, if you can do it and it's the same exact thing, and you can probably cut your carbon footprint down because it's not going to be as much listen, the cows out in California, if you ever drive past Bakersfield, California, there's a huge dairy farm out there, and if you roll down the window, you'll gag because it stinks so bad off Highway 99.
I can imagine.
And that's nothing but methane. So what I'm saying is, I don't see a problem with it. If it's the same, if you're telling me it's the same exact thing, it's just, you got to wrap your head around the way it's developed, and it scares people. But I don't know if it'll make it in this country because I can already hear the conspiracies.
What?
I can already hear the conspiracies.
No thing.
Yeah.
Do you understand that what's in our country already is illegal in every other country except one? It will be here first. We are the biggest test group and the test dummies of the world. So it'll be here.
I think that was, I want to say, I had to look, but I want to say it was developed in Canada.
I want to say something. Saying I grew my meat sounds kind of pause-worthy.
Definitely.
Well, you can do that too today, though.
I was just about to say that.
Ironically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So would this mean that they have to contain and house animals? Like, will this be like, hey, we don't have to have 155 cows in a little garage anymore because now we can take cells from that cow and grow it?
Yes. And I don't want to say this. I swore I said, because I was skimming over it because I wanted to get here with the story. And I swear they even said maybe even out of like cells out of feathers, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But like, yeah, it's basically you're taking cells and growing them in a vat.
You know what?
I have. You want the website? I have the website up. You want to see it?
Go for it.
Sure.
It's called Cultivated Meat. It's science, but not rocket science.
Let's put that on the layout. Hold on. Let's look at that.
Start at the source. The process begins by taking a small amount of cells from an animal. We created our first product, chicken, from a fertilized heritage breed chicken egg. So they pretty much just take it from the cells and grow only the meat that they want to use, which is interesting. Clone. Yeah, it's like clone meat, and they're only growing the pieces that they're gonna eat. After 2 to 3 weeks, our meat is ready for harvest.
Whoa!
They're growing it pretty fast. We remove it from the cultivator and separate it from the cell feed. We then take this harvested meat, and in the case of our first product, mold it into the shape of the chicken fillet. Other products may be seasoned, breaded, or otherwise formulated before they are refrigerated or frozen and packaged for distribution. Next, our products are either refrigerated, frozen, and packaged for distribution. Did they just say the same thing twice? Now all that's left is to cook it, eat, and enjoy it. So they're saying it's real meat grown from cells, and it's more humane. That's what they're saying
today. Yeah.
Right.
Well, and just imagine that if you're not having to stick them with all the antibiotics to keep them alive, it could be healthier.
So I gotta say, I'd rather eat that than the actual animals.
That's what I'm saying.
Agree with you. I agree with you.
This is my thing.
I'd rather eat that.
This is my thing.
I want my
We're in the middle of
mercilessly thrown in a grinder and served to me in packets.
You know, I was watching.
I can't hear you, Haran.
I'd rather have my meat, my cow killed viciously, thrown in packets and sold to me.
Yeah, but why? What would be the reason?
Because that's how.
Why would you prefer that? No, I know, but what would be the reason? Why do you prefer that? If they're gonna take the cells from a cow, right, and then make cow meat.
I don't trust the idea of growing meat.
But you trust the idea of growing a cow that's pumped with tons of chemicals that's
Right.
sick.
But that's the point I
and
was about to make.
You trust
I
that?
think it's a rock and a
Wait a
hard
minute.
place.
Still, whatever they feed that cow, it's still going to be in the cells when they extract it out.
It's not going to be the same.
How is it not going to be in the same? It's in the cells. Whatever they feed that cow in the bloodstream.
Yeah, that's true. It is. It's on the but the thing is that
it's not the same because here's why. This is my theory. I'm not a scientist.
Science can pull out the impurities,
but they're not.
If somebody pumps you full of chemicals and they take out your blood, whatever you've been pumped with for months, it's still in your blood. It's still in your cells.
Hey, there's test tube babies. I don't say why not a test tube burger.
But that's the point I'm making. Like regardless, there's really no argument. We're between the rock and a hard place. Regardless, our food is crap. It's going to be crap, right? So just pick your poison. Just pick your poison.
Would you say? I actually watched the video the other day with Dame Dash talking why he don't eat meat, and he just like, chickens got doo-doo all over it.
So this is okay. Okay, so look, this is why I say
cells ain't gonna have doo-doo.
What's up, Steven? Hi, baby. How you doing? Okay. Stephen Hill says people don't want to eat meat grown in a lab, but will eat animals grown in a lab. So here's the thing. This is why I would say it. Going back to what you said, Lily, yes, pick your poison. I just happen to think there's less poison in the lab. That's all. It's just my opinion. Hold on, let me finish. God damn it. Can I finish a point?
Well, you pause.
The reason why that would be my poison to pick is because the conditions, because both of them are crap. You're right, Lily. We shouldn't be eating meat at all. They're both garbage. But the conditions they keep those animals in, the way they kill them, beyond it being inhumane, it's the suffering of the animal, and that's all in the meat. In the lab, there's no suffering. It's grown cells and it's still the meat. So there's a whole process from birth to death that animal is going through, on top of the chemicals is being pumped with, on top of how it's being housed. Those animals are one on top of the other. The misery, the death, the stench, the stink, the feces, the piss. Give me the one grown in the lab. Give me the one. It's me. Give me the one grown in the lab.
And the thing is, we already eaten stuff that's grown in the lab.
Say again, Haran?
This is a moral choice.
No, it's not a moral choice. I knew you were going to try to go there. It's not a moral choice. If I'm eating an animal, I don't give a fuck about the animal already, right? Apparently. However, now, if you kept that animal, like I hear Oprah has a farm, all her shit is fucking clean. It is organic. Her chickens are clean and organic. What I'm talking about, the meat that we get, because we're not billionaires, really come from sewage. It's like keeping animals literally down in the sewer in New York City and then pulling them out, hanging them upside down, and putting that and packaging that. So it's not a moral thing. It's a disgust thing. So if I'm gonna eat the same animal, but it's gonna be in a lab, and according to you, it's gonna have the same cells, I want the shit that didn't suffer, that wasn't dancing around in feces and urine and disease. And I'd rather have the thing grown in the lab, especially if it's the same. That's what I'm talking about. Like now, morally, I would like not to eat meat because meat is gross. But that's what I do. I eat meat, but I have to like not think about what I'm eating in order to eat, because I've seen the PETA videos. That's the worst thing you could do if you're a meat eater. Is watch the PETA videos. Is the worst thing you could do. I've watched them. Yes, I know you're tough, Haran. I had a burger after too. I didn't stop eating meat after. But I'm saying the way that they keep those animals is such a filthy process. It is filthy. So that's my issue, is more the filth than the animal, because I eat animals. If I felt that bad, I would have been a vegan years ago.
Yeah, I feel like that
meat.
a lot. And me too. I struggle with this because I'm such an animal lover, right? But then I turn around and eat meat. So it's the hypocrisy. It is so hypocrisy, it's just where I'm at. It's just where I'm at today.
The devil ain't done with me yet. The devil ain't done with me yet, Lily.
Now, Haran, let me ask you this, Haran. Now, what if the grown meat is like the most tender steak ever?
I still wouldn't want it.
Still
I'll
wouldn't want it?
sign up for it. I'll sign up for that.
No,
So-
because
I mean,
a lot of them
wait,
steaks are steak- like you pay
one
extra
second.
for a steak.
Am I
with your
extremely
shit.
hungry? Am I extremely hungry? Am I extremely hungry at the time? Yes, I'll eat that grown shit. That shit that was grown in the lab. So I was
I
extremely
mean, because
hungry.
quiet as this cat,
Be like,
quiet as this cat,
like, come on, man.
we're already eating meat out of a lab anyway. So I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Well, this is the thing. If any of you
So we
have
want
ever-
culture light, basically.
if any of you have ever eaten a grass-fed cow, like
Yes, I
It
want
is
torture light because
so-
it's disgusting to eat something that was tortured. It's disgusting.
Right.
You're
you
putting
pay
that
more
in
for
your
it.
body.
Okay.
And you
So-
pay more
so-
for their treatment.
Well,
So-
and go ahead, no thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I was saying, if anybody's ever tried, I've had like a couple of times where I'd go to a grass-fed cow and order a quarter cow and get all that meat. It tastes so much better than anything you've ever tasted. So
True.
not all cows are, you wouldn't have to take the cells from the shitty cows that they've been, selling to Walmart. You could actually go to a decent cow and get those cells.
True.
Cultivate like that, and then you get the best of both worlds. I guarantee you this meat's going to be better. It's going to taste
Absolutely.
better.
I agree.
No stress level.
That's the other thing. The stress level of the animal affects us as well. The hormones and all of that stuff. I mean, if I had it my way, I would do torture light. I would do the Oprah thing, right?
Oh,
Until
Oprah's farm is fucking phenomenal. Like I
Yeah.
was like, we got to make money because I'm like, she had. Let me tell you, them chickens was a pretty, and I never thought I'd see a pretty chicken. She had the pretty. I mean, the feathers were shiny, the cows were shiny. I was like, yeah, I'll take a burger from that cow right there.
No saint. Yeah.
Mute your mic. Yeah, so I'm like, yo, her animals, they looked healthy and happy and were running around. They didn't know they were going to get killed. And I'm like, that's how I would want it.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
Her eggs are fresh and glowing like cartoon eggs. I'm like, you got to be that rich. I want my eggs to glow.
Around the eggs and shit like that.
Yes.
Right. Golden eggs.
Now with that said, I would love to be a vegan. I honestly am not a vegan right now because I am lazy and because it's expensive and it's a lot of work. I'm super lazy now. Once my tax bracket changes, oh please, I'm gonna tell my nutritionist, be like, don't bring no meat in here. Make the shit taste like meat. Because I don't want to eat animals. I don't want to eat any animals. It's eating animals is gross to me. Like Prince said, anything that had parents, it's just like, it's gross to me. Like, it's gross.
I'm like you, Jen. I'm so weird when it comes to meat, right? So I eat it partially because I'm used to it, right?
Yes.
And I like the flavor that it puts in the food. But what I do is I find myself picking the meat out, which is weird. I might eat like a couple of bites, but it can't be too like chunky. It has to be like really like cut thin or minced or ground, but because it is gross. I'm thinking about eating like it's really gross to me, but it's like part of what I'm used to. It's weird. I'm in this weird place.
I wasn't sure until Kari showed that little video because the way I eat meat anyway is gonna look like what was grown in the lab. I can't have meat that looks like a carcass. I need to eat chicken breast. I don't like the wing shit. I don't like that part. Like anything that reminds me of the animal. Like when you bring me seafood, please shell that shit. I don't think this is fancy. This guy on the plate. Don't bring me that guy on the plate. If you're going to bring me lobster, shell that shit. I don't know how people eat the fish with the head on it. I don't want to see what the animal was. And it seems like this lab grown thing, it doesn't have limbs or feather. It used to have feathers, and like I'm a meat eater. I cook meat. I could shove up some meat, but I'm not gonna lie. When I'm cleaning out the chicken, the veins are popping and the fat sometimes there's feathers left on it, and it fucking grosses me out. Like I have to take my mind off of what I'm cooking and eating. And you've seen the way I clean today, guys. That's how I clean my fucking chicken thighs. It takes me like an hour, no lie, by the sink, cleaning the fat, the veins, the tendons out the fucking chicken thigh. I think it's disgusting. And then I fry them up real nice. So you will eat the cleanest chicken you ever had in my house. You're gonna eat the cleanest chicken. I just don't. It grosses me out. So the less it looks like what it was when it was alive, the more I'm gonna like it.
So we are all human, and we all have to kill something to eat it, whether it's a animal or it's a plant. We're killing something. We're killing another life form.
That's
So
the other
I mean,
thing I think about too.
sucks. It sucks, and you can say the jury's out on how much plants know. I don't know if they think or have any process, but they do have battles, and they're that's probably all evolution, but they'll change their way they do things to avoid being eaten. Or for avoid being like if there's a parasite in them and things. It's probably all chemically related, but I'm just saying,
I think that's chemically related, and I think that's different from shit that has a heartbeat in a womb.
I got you.
A fucking heartbeat in a womb, and it's
mommy and daddy.
Gross. It's gross.
But everybody's got. Well, most things have a mommy and a daddy. Even trees. Even trees have a mommy and a daddy.
Listen, if that's the selling point, you're not going to convince me that eating a veal is the same as having a head of lettuce. You just
I know it's definitely not a strong point, but I'm just saying.
Like, I need something better than that. I need you to bring me the lettuce parents, but you convince me. I'm like, oh man, I didn't know lettuce had parents. Fuck, damn. No.
Yeah, because you know what, I be trying to think, because Buddhists don't believe in killing anything that anything, right? And I'm like, okay, so if you got a roach in your house, like you're not killing it, like okay, you got to kill bacteria, like that's
mosquitoes
living.
are going to
mosquitoes,
die.
like you know what I'm saying? Like it's little things. Like where do we draw the line at this no killing situation, right? So that's why I come back to killing light, killing humanely. Making sure that they have a wonderful life before I kill them and eat them. That's where I land.
It's a tough world.
Make sure they have a nice life before I kill you. Let me take a break for the super chats. Thank you so much for the super chat. Don Levon, the hobbyist, says a calf isn't born with steroids in their system. Use their cells to make the meat steroid free. I am with you. I am totally with you. That's very, very true. We didn't think about that. Get it. You know what I mean?
And one, there's another super chat?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for this super chat. Stephen Hill says, folks out here eating ass, but lab-grown meat is where they draw the line.
I'm not folks. So I can talk shit about my lab-grown meat.
That's awesome.
I'm not folks.
Amen.
Wait a minute. Steve, hold on. Let's talk about the important. Steven, you eat ass?
It's 2023. Who don't eat ass?
Lily.
Woo! All right, it is sexy Saturday tonight.
If I can, I want some ass in a lab grown for me.
Lab grown ass.
Listen, you gotta think about it. Human beings engage in some disgusting shit in the bedroom and have the nerve to have standards on the outside of the bedroom. I'm just saying, man.
But
look, wait. Okay. Rock the Biggin. Oh, look. He's saying the same damn people again. He's talking about our panel, and he's saying, I need some new blood. What should I do, guys? And then better yet, what do you think? Better question. What do you think I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
First, you go. Well, I'm new blood, but I feel like you're gonna curse him out or some shit.
He could come up. He could come up if he wants new blood.
He just want to talk shit.
No.
But I'm going to add that, of course, another reason I think this is going to be hell to get in mainstream maybe is the cattle industry is complaining.
Oh, now that would be okay. Now that you're right. Now that will be the reason. But like, it ain't gonna be because of more morality or scared of cancer or nothing like that. It ain't gonna be that. But it will be if you fucking with somebody's money that's got a lot of pull, and because you saw what happened to Oprah, that almost took Oprah down, the cow industry.
Right.
Yeah. I was gonna say when you said when you said the mosquitoes gonna die, did you see what Bill Gates is doing with mosquitoes? Well, he's making bajillions and bajillions and bajillions. He actually has a mosquito farm. And he's making bajillions and bajillions, and they were showing on the farm like how they're cultivating and farming these mosquitoes and how he puts them out. And the purpose of them is to avoid for people to avoid malaria and Zika and shit like that.
To avoid it?
Yeah, to avoid it, to help people not get those diseases. So they just and they're in the billions. Like after this, look it up if you're curious or if you're on your computers now. Bill Gates mosquito farms. It is off the fucking chain. It looks like some sci-fi shit.
What's his theory behind that? Like preventing, because I thought because of mosquitoes.
Right, but he was saying.
Did he put a vaccine in them?
I don't want to fuck up why he did it. Look it up.
I would assume I have an idea of why he might have done it, but
so these mosquitoes are supposed to mate with the current mosquitoes to wipe out essentially the malaria issue. Probably that's what he's doing it for.
I forgot what it was. Don't get me to lie, because I was half asleep when I was YouTube scrolling. He puts them out.
Mark Randall said the ones he makes can't transmit it.
Right. I was going to say like a CRISPR gene editing or something.
Right. So he's farming like billions. Like that farm, when they showed it, I was like, holy, like it looked gross. And hold on a minute, because I know who posted it.
Wow. Interesting.
Gates is always on some.
He always, okay.
Well, there's an article pulled up written by Bill Gates in 2020 that's talking about Mosquito City. He says it's a city in Tanzania called Mosquito City. It has the world's largest captive colony of mosquitoes used for researching ways to combat malaria and other mosquito-borne diseases, as well as cutting-edge approaches to trap, repel, and most importantly, kill them. So he's saying he's creating all of these to figure out better ways to kill them. But this is from GatesNotes.com, which is Bill Gates' website, and it's authored by Bill Gates. So
thank you. And Reza Islam, he posted it, but Reza, he's a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
And basically, Bill Gates' mosquito farm produces 30 million mosquitoes every single week. Do you trust this? Because coming from Reza's desk, it's like that's 30 million mosquitoes that can affect people with shit as well as prevent shit, right? Reza's always like, he got a side eye on everything.
Well, especially when you look at the key players, you're like, ugh.
Right. And I will say, when you go look this up, the little documentary is very interesting. Like they show every single detail. They show the scientists in the lab. They show the process of them like doing the mosquitoes and the little embryos. And they show every single detail, which I was surprised that they showed this much detail of how they create these things and release these things. And they showed the lab and everything. But as human beings, it's a class thing, it's a tax bracket thing. All we could do is complain about this shit. Because if Bill Gates woke up tomorrow morning and said, yeah, I'm releasing 30 million mosquitoes with HIV, what the fuck y'all gonna do? No one's gonna do anything. We're just gonna get on YouTube and talk about it. So it's funny how people are like, you gotta watch what they doing. And then what, sir? What are you going to do about it? Right. And that's why I say money is power. You motherfuckers are voting and the money and the guy with the money is making 30 million mosquitoes. So it's interesting. Well, it's all interesting.
It sounds to me that it has something to do with, and I remember telling you guys to check out the CRISPR editing documentary on Netflix. I'm trying to think what the name of it is. But it's a great documentary because it shows you how easy it is to how quote unquote easy it is for people with general knowledge on how to do it to edit genes. Now edit genes, and
They've been doing that for a minute.
Well, they're talking about like they were going to places like for the rat population. I forgot what kind of, or maybe it was what's the one you get from the deer?
Lyme disease.
Lyme disease. They were talking about putting things out there where you could, but it scares people, and I get why it scares people, because I get why it scares people. I mean, I do, but I'm imagining these mosquitoes would have something to do with that. It has to be that they cannot transmit, or because I've heard other people talking about you can put out a bunch of sterile, make them sterile and start cutting the mosquito population down like that. Not getting rid of them, but just like, instead of spraying poison all over, you just basically cut down. So I don't know.
What do you think about population control, honestly?
Oh,
I'm all for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I never talked about this publicly, but I'm kind of for it too.
It's happening.
It's happening anyway. Yeah. So
it's already population's already coming down.
How's it happening?
By the end of this century, I think we're going to be. I have to look it up, but I think around 7 billion people, which we're almost at 9 billion.
This is not including them trying to kill us, right? Like
this
is just the birth rate has come down drastically all over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of people who are sterile now.
Do you think it's a good thing, like, because there's just not enough food and not enough resources and stuff like that?
Yep.
That, and there's just too much fucking noise also.
I think there's enough resources and enough food. I just think it's not spread out. And you can't do that. I mean, people live in countries with borders, and you're not going to share. You know what I mean?
Right. So, but I'm with you, No Saint, because I feel like you feed the world. I don't think it was just a song. You can feed the world, but that's not what. So I'm with Lily, where it's like, I don't care about how it should be. We got to deal with how it is. They're not going to share the wealth, and they're not going to share the food.
Right.
They're just not. It's never happening. Like it's never ever happening.
Well, and a lot of that.
So in the meantime, do we allow people to continue to be bored and be poor and suffer in the meantime?
Right.
Even if we have widespread cell-grown food.
That's true. But the problem is it's never the food. It's the political. It's like North Korea. When they were starving, it's political people playing games like, if you don't do what I want to do, okay, we're not helping you out. Or, there were people that, were controlling companies and countries and let their people starve. Like the Soviet Union, when they had the revolution, millions of people died that didn't have to die because they starved them out.
Well, see, this is the thing. The only reason why there's so many of us right now is because when the elite look at us as a slave, like we're only here to help a workforce to help their lives better. Once the AI starts like booming and we don't need as many jobs as filled, and there's gonna be a lot of people out of work, trust me, most of our asses up out of here because we're no longer needed. Well,
you better be of some major use.
Exactly.
Than human
That's why
beings.
when you looked at the language of essential worker, essential, non-essential, I was like, oh, okay, I caught that. That didn't go over my head. I was like, they trying to see who's needed, essential. Exactly.
Essential.
Like, who can we get by without? And
I think the pandemic was a great experiment.
It was
because it revealed a lot, good, bad, and ugly. It revealed a lot.
It revealed
who's essential.
How many alcoholics we got in this country because liquor stores were essential.
Like it showed the good, bad, ugly, the people that are weak, the people that would die first, the people that would panic first. Like, I don't know, if I was sitting somewhere perched up in the 1%, I would just turn us on like a TV and see, okay, this demographic panicked. This demographic, they went heavier into alcohol. This amount of divorce came out of that. This amount of these children cannot do school online. Like, there was a lot of data. There was a lot of data to collect after that pandemic that was, I think, very useful and amazing. Like, if they did it again. And
Yeah.
also, even the animals coming out after everybody was in the damn house.
Mhm.
The
Yep.
sky
California
cleared up. The
skyline
smog.
clearing up.
The smog
Mhm.
cleared up. We are a virus, like Agent Smith said.
Mhm.
Yeah, that the as far as what's the usefulness, what we're talking about, population, they're going to need people. They're still going to need people to protect them.
Right. Just not as many.
Yeah,
Just not
just
as many.
not. Yeah, maybe not as many. And they're probably still going to need people to fight for them in case
Yeah.
that other person over there wants to come take your
But
stuff.
but if you
But
think they're gonna sit around and let us sit around and suck up the air and a universal basic income, you got another thing coming.
But aren't there a lot of people just using up oxygen?
That's the point I'm making. So then you add
Look,
millions and millions and millions or more, and they're not contributing to society because they got to go.
Everybody on this panel and everybody in the chat knows this. This is the ugly truth. Everybody on this panel and everybody on this chat knows this right now. You can pick 3 fucking people in that that if they died tomorrow, probably people wouldn't even notice.
Way more than 3.
It's true though.
And you know why? Because
Like,
they're useless. You're useless. Like they're constantly calling and asking for shit. They're eating up shit. They go to different places. They sleep on couches. You know what I mean? They take shit. They ask for shit. They don't produce anything.
See, and on top of
keyboards and smash shit and take points.
no, you're right. And listen, that's the cold hard truth, man.
It's the truth.
The truth isn't pretty.
Listen, Marvel was brilliant in this, in saying this. The whole Thanos shit, that shit was social. That shit was basically population control. There wasn't that much shit to go around, so he said, okay, a couple of you motherfuckers gotta go.
It's that true. It's like you said, Jen.
It was just population control. That's all it was.
Pretty.
And it's like beyond, oh, Ron, you stupid. Beyond the people that are useless, right? There are the people that are damaging to other humans with intent.
Yes.
Like you're out there killing, you're out there making things dirty, you're littering and loitering, and you're out there hurting people. You're out there spreading disease because you don't wear fucking condoms. You're out there having children with abandon. Just here, you get a kid, you get it. Women constantly fucking giving birth. Hey, here's another one. There's a woman on Kendra, 8 fucking kids looking for a man. 8 fucking kids.
Ma'am, the last thing you need is there's a dick in your house.
Listen, 8 kids. She weighed about 300 pounds around? She was about roundabouts.
Like a good 350.
Okay. 350, 8 kids.
Hey,
looking for
like
a man.
Women.
Looking for a man.
No. Listen, Kari, we need to be very intellectually honest with ourselves. There is looking for big women and there's swimming for okras. There's a difference. Okay.
Hey, I know people with the nickname and they nickname is Pudgy because they like pudgy ass women.
Now that woman,
but it's not. No, listen. Thank you. Listen, it's not about just her being fat. It's about her being useless to not only society but her children.
No,
that she brought in the world.
I get it.
So I'm like, what man would be like, yup? And she was still legally married and her ex-husband didn't want to give her a divorce. I'm like, who's climbing on top of this woman, impregnating it over and over and over again? Can you imagine the caliber of man that's impregnating this female?
Jen, last night when I was watching Arnold, he said one thing. He said his father told him, he said, Arnold, whatever you do in life, be useful.
Useful.
That shit was when I heard that.
Arnold Schwarzenegger doc.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, it is life.
That joint
is life.
Fire.
I'm gonna have to check it out. I keep
Watch.
scrolling past it looking for something good to watch.
No. So was I. I was like, don't want to see it. No, nobody. And I was like, fuck yeah, let me see it. I was like, oh shit, it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out.
Doing like 20.
Check it out.
This dude was doing like 20 sets on, you know what I mean, on each exercise, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, this guy's
and his mindset is like nothing you've ever encountered. Yeah, the way he gives you his process for life is, and then how he says things, and then he does it, and then incredible. I've seen a lot of documentaries. I've heard a lot of stories. I ain't seen nothing like that thus far.
So he kind of goes through and shows you how he speaks to what how he accomplishes the things.
Yes, from the beginning, from infancy.
Yes.
From the beginning, and then how he shifts to another thing, and how it's incredible. It really is incredible. I watched the last episode tonight because it's only 3 episodes, but it's a masterclass. It is a masterclass on life. It is a masterclass on goals, and you really see that doc separates the men from the boys.
It really does, man.
Period.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out.
Only shame is he wasn't. The only shame was he wasn't born in the United States, because I think he would have become a president. I think
you don't need to be president.
Let me answer James. James, I bench 300 pounds.
I cannot pronounce Kamala.
Kamala.
No, just an amazing human being. I didn't know Arnold was like that. I was like, fuck. I thought he was just like, bodybuilder, superstar, blockbuster actor. Yeah, okay. So was Sylvester. So was The Rock. So was, Jason Momoa. So was it, but no, he's on another level. Like, I would watch it again. After I watch the third one, I'm going to watch it again because it keeps you like, anyway, moving on. Watch Arnold on Netflix. Watch Arnold on Netflix. Mr. David Hand, welcome.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, darling.
Fancy meeting you here.
Fancy. Thank you for pulling up. Guys, okay, I just had to block one person. That's not that bad. All right, so let's get into the second hour. You right on time, Mr. David Hand.
And we're talking about freaky women?
Well, no, we were talking about freaky beats.
I love it.
That's the new piece from today, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I went to a pop-up by a designer in New York called Dauphinette. She makes these, she embeds botanicals and stuff in resin. So this is an actual rosebud, but she'll have necklaces that have a waffle or a Ritz cracker. Laminated.
That's funny.
It's really dope. She does.
Can we get the cracker one for No Saint for his birthday?
I think. When's that birthday? No Saint. I'm going to work on that.
Monday.
Oh wow! That's
All right.
Seriously?
Yes.
And we have a No Saint birthday show.
Yeah, we have to have a No Saint birthday show, and we're gonna have to have some late cake in August.
There you go.
You have some late cake. You never want some late cake. I'm always down for cake. Early, late, middle, whatever. Mark Randall's stupid. He said, I'm not considering the lady with the 8 kids. I'm not considering her credit score. She had a GoFundMe, sir.
Oh, real quick.
She had a GoFundMe.
Back to population control for 2 seconds. I just realized Mother Earth, she purges every now and then. She's like, get some of these motherfuckers involved. They doing too much. They running through me like
they do.
I believe that. You know when like even in the Bible stories, like what they call natural disasters is not a fucking disaster in my opinion. It's the earth saying, "Get the fuck off, man."
Right. That's what it is.
Have you been paying attention to like ocean life acting up?
It's been
humpback tipping boats over.
Yes.
The okras have been very, very doing a lot of work lately.
Orcas.
What you called them?
It's the orcas. He said
Orca Winfrey.
Orca.
He's hungry over there.
Haran's always hungry.
Orca Winfrey.
I was like, what kind of whale is that? Is that a game whale?
Are you calling Oprah a whale?
The fried okra whale is
delicious
species near New Orleans, right? No, sorry.
No, but listen, they did. Did you see that tourist that got tore up by that the tiger shark, tore his ass up? And they was like, this never happens. Well, it happened.
Listen, even the
It's like,
animals are
it's
sick of
real.
us.
That's why I don't go into the ocean past my ankles.
Yo, my best friend's best famous line is, once you enter the ocean, you are abandoning your place on the food chain.
It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah. It's the truth.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
That's
how
just
many
funny.
of us can swim here?
I can swim.
Okay.
I can swim.
Dan, you can't swim?
I can float.
Swimming is the best way to avoid drowning.
I mean, I can swim. Here's the thing. I swim in the pool. Like when I go to the pool, I swim. I go back and forth underwater. I don't know if I can't swim. I don't know if I fall into the ocean. Am I going to drown?
You can save your life.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
I'm still trying to get that little thing that they do.
So like
the lifeguards. You ever seen the lifeguards? They do like this, and then they. I like that.
You're doing like the dolphin swim, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I've never been able to get there. I've never been able.
Yeah, I can't get it either.
Do it in the bed.
They say we know more about space than we do about the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Only 5% of the ocean has been discovered, explored. I mean, only 5%.
Well, you seen when they go all the way down, them animals glow in the dark. It's like Pandora.
And they still haven't been all the way down. That's the thing. In some of these oceans, they have not been all. They haven't even gotten to. I'm telling you, 5%. Because most of the Earth is ocean.
Look at how lazy, like
Todd
all
Jones
of the
said,
opportunities that Red Lobster is leaving on the table. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
Yeah.
Todd Jones said, do that again, Jen. $100. $100. I'll do it again, Todd Jones. You motherfuckers got a lot of requests with empty pockets. How do you get along? How do you get along in life? You have a lot of requests with empty pockets. I don't understand. Who taught you that? What did Arnold's father say, Haran?
Whatever you do in life, be useful.
That's simple.
Yes. Whatever you do in life.
It's that simple.
At least buy the lady a drink. Rule
Jesus.
number one.
Smoothie. A smoothie down there.
Send me a smooth. Buy me a case of Essentia. Send it to my P.O. box. Do something. Something. Shit. Gosh. So going back to deleting humanity. Okay. I guess we can. Right. I guess we can segue since all the sexy is finally here. David.
Yeah.
Tonight's topic is girls just want to have fun. And I hope the team did a little bit of research because I didn't have time to. So are women suppressed freaks? And when I did announce this on my community tab, I was like, hey, fellas, pull up so you can see what your women really want and how they really think, right? So we're going to be snitching out women tonight. So really quickly, are women suppressed freaks? For centuries, women have been suppressed sexually in the most horrible ways, right? Things that have not been done to men or for men. I have a couple of things here. Chastity belt, that was a real thing, not a myth. It was to keep women virgins or to keep her vagina only belonging to one man. Okay, now it was metal, but it did have holes for menstruating, pissing, and shitting. But chastity belts were a real fucking thing. Then we have the scarlet letter, right? They're supposed to mark a woman in the streets because she wasn't faithful. There's no scarlet letter for men, and there's no chastity belt for men. Then we have things like, circumcision in certain tribes in Africa. They remove the clitoral area of the female, sometimes from birth all the way up to age 15. This happens, this mutilation. A woman is not supposed to feel pleasure. Right now, so, those are the extreme things, but it's just an example of how women have been suppressed from their nature of wanting to have sex, right? Throughout the years. And then, fast forward the Bible, there's a lot of shit in there too, right? All the way up to today, women in 2023 are still being shamed about body counts and being hoes and things like that, none of which apply to men. None of which apply to men. Men are told, you got to get a virgin or a low body count, and then you're worthy of marriage ring, right? However, time, nature doesn't lie. So if you look at my thumbnail, right, and you see things like this, and I use these things specifically, women now are like, fuck y'all. So we have 50 Shades of Grey, which became a $1 billion franchise. From the books to the films globally is now in the $1 billion mark. Now, 50 Shades of Grey is not a movie or a book that men buy. It is women, right? Then we have that fancy vibrator. The Rose is all the rage now. And women are going online saying they bought the Rose. It is a Rose, a vibrator that sucks your vagina. And then we have the Chokey Choke, and we have Channing Tatum dancing on a woman who's enjoying it very, very much. So women have been showing forever that they are sexy, freaky beasts, despite having chastity belts, their clitorises torn off, being shamed, being called hoes and sluts, and your body count, being shamed about body count. It's like nature never fails, and women are long and strong about we don't give a fuck. Now it's worse and worse and worse for men because men are no longer being able to suppress. And I don't think that men are doing well with that fact. And that's why they are very vitriolic towards women. But women have taken these words like slut and hoe. There's a slut walk that Amber Rose did, which many, 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 many women have, attended. There are more women that are getting into polyamory and polygamy. So women now are like, no, this is our nature and you can't suppress us anymore. Fuck your chastity belt, your scarlet letters, your mutilations, violations, insults. We are here. Hear us roar. Is this the second coming of women's lib and revolution? What say you guys? Where are we headed with this? Are men going to have to eat it and like it?
Ooh, okay. So I think that the answer to the question is obvious. Yes, women are suppressed freaks, right? Humans are freaks. Humans in general are freaks, right? So that includes women. The only thing is, I'm going to blame religion across the board, not just Christianity. I was thinking as you were talking, which religion doesn't oppress women? Is there any? Because I was legit trying to like let one off the hook, and I couldn't find one to let off the hook. Right? So
if they're not suppressing them, they're offering them to people. Lily.
Yes. Well, and that's still taking away their choices.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it's like, so I'm looking at that. So that's across the board, across the world, right? Now, as a man, there if those are because the laws are coming from the religions, right? Whether they say they are or not, they're coming from the religions. And as a man, like a man wouldn't complain about that because they're getting what they want out of the situation, so it's no big deal, right? All right, so now we go through time, we got the laws and everything that were made by the men that cater to the men, and the women were oppressed. But then we dealing in this country, women plot, right? Women are very patient and women plot. And what women did was, they started going back to school. They started doing some things and started coming up financially. And when they started coming up financially and surpassing men, they no longer needed them financially. So they no longer had to pretend to be less freaky or less sexual than they actually were, because they could just be themselves. They didn't have to stay with Papa Joe like grandma did, because they are able to make their own money now. That's the real big difference, is that women have been able to surpass a lot of men through education and financially. So now they're just doing what they've always wanted to do. It's just that simple, in my opinion. That's my theory on the situation.
This is very cute. James says, real women are just watching y'all do it. Oh, yes. I love these statements. Real women. Real women. I love those statements because real women don't want to have things done to them, like being blindfolded and tied to a bedpost while you actually spell her name backwards and forwards on her clitoris with your tongue as you massage the inside hole back and forth, and you actually do it such and such in a circular motion. Real women don't want that, James. Not real women.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Anyway,
I need a cigarette.
I think
Right.
Go ahead, Kari.
I think women have been suppressed, but I think less and less women are feeling like they're suppressed, especially in today's age. I think each generation feels less suppressed, in my opinion. And I say that because in my 45 years of life, I have not really met a woman that I felt like she was suppressed sexually in any way whatsoever. Because
well, okay, let's elaborate though. She wasn't scared to do shit. What you mean with you behind closed doors?
Behind closed doors, whether she wanted to dress sexy or something like that. She didn't really. I've never met a woman that felt like, oh, I can't do this because the world will look at me a certain way.
Interesting. Okay.
Anyone?
So I'll say this, piggybacking off of something that Haran said. Again, I know that this stream was going to have, men saying stupid shit, right? Like, oh no, that's because I get it. However, that's why I wanted to bring up this subject exactly. 50 Shades of Grey is a $1 billion franchise. Okay. Now here's the kicker. The women that are called or considered hoes, sluts, promiscuous, they're not buying 50 Shades of Grey. You know why? Because they're living those lives.
Uh-huh.
So that leaves a $1 billion franchise. Okay. Women. Then who are those women? Because it's not, why would a slut, a hoe, and a promiscuous woman be intrigued with Christian Grey when that is how they're living their lives? So that, again, I tell you, a $1 billion franchise. When you look at the number one book sold, it is fucking housewives buying them at the supermarket. Right? Those innocent little housewives who waited.
Maybe they're bored.
Right? Well, there are a lot of, right, but they're
bored the same as suppressed.
Okay, but well, here's the thing. If they're bored, here's the thing. They can be bored, but why sex books? There are a lot of books. There's books on, knitting and sewing and traveling and running, racing, and you know what I mean? Fashion. Yet they made 50 Shades of Grey. I think that's a very targeted audience. If you're bored, why are you automatically going to romance books? What is it? The number one books ever sold is the Bible and then romance novels?
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's something to think about. While men
That's been a perennial seller since the days of Fabio and before.
Well,
my right. Theory. So while men are still shaming women are still chasing that high, that freaky high. Right? I went to Magic Mike. You have to see the women in there who were right about to get married, the bridal parties and shit, the bachelorette parties, regular women that you would see day in and day out. They were dressed extra slutty. They looked like regular old women going fucking batshit crazy. That's why I use that picture of Channing Tatum dancing on that woman. Batshit crazy. And I always tell men, go watch Magic Mike. And the first thing they do, they crunch up, right? I'm like, I'm sorry. I am a pleaser as a lover, right? I want to see what turns men on. I've been to titty bars with my friends. I want to see how those women move. I want to see how men react to them. Okay. Right. But men, they're so, no, I don't want to men. Listen, if I was a man, I'd go in there and lay in the fucking cut and be like, let me see what these bitches be screaming about. It's smart, right? But again, that's if you want to be well-versed in the art of love making and seduction and all of that. But I learned a lot at the titty bars, okay? I had girls, girlfriends that stripped and shit. And I was like, we in there, we deep. 5 of us cheering her on, and I'm just observing. And I'm a people sponge anyway. But what men do, like some of the ones in the chat, right? They cannot deal with the nature of woman. They always talk about the nature of woman, and when it comes to, oh, they hypergamous, oh, they did, but they stop at the sexuality of a woman because they're scared to death. One, that they can't please her because you're no fucking Christian Grey and you're no Channing Tatum, right? So you stop right there. That's where it bothers you. That's where her nature. That's where you stop investigating her nature. When you find out that she's a bigger freak than you.
But is she a freak if she's being pleased by fictional characters and strippers who probably aren't going to fuck her? You know what I mean? Like, is that an appetizer to other things to come, or is that the sex? Is the sex the watching of, you know, of programs and movies and shows and everything like that? And, you know, and then I'm good? Or
it's the only acceptable thing that they can do, especially, you know, especially if they're in because women are expected to be in a relationship. Like Jen, oh my God, anytime a woman says that they're single, the way that men unravel, it's the weirdest
that's our scarlet letter
ever.
That's our scarlet letter.
Oh my God, it's crazy. If they just unravel, like, well, why? You're gonna die lonely. I'm like, damn, I just want to be single right now. Like, that's it. Like, the hell. It's a weird situation. Like, it's totally different. Like,
but when you hear a man is single, it's like, oh, you know, he's doing him, right? He's focused on his work, and you know what I mean. He's a bachelor. He's a, you know what I mean. There's no, what's the word for a woman that's a bachelor, living that lifestyle, just dating and working and making money and cooking and, you know what I mean, living her life.
It's exactly
right. Thank you.
It's always derogatory.
Thank you. That's exactly what it is. But to answer your question, David, she is a freak. She just doesn't act on it, and that's her outlet. Magic Mike is the outlet. 50 Shades of Grey is the outlet, because she can't, God forbid, that she be out there. You know what I mean? But what they do, they buy the 50 Shades of Grey trilogy. Okay, that shit came in 3 fucking books. They all sold out. Couldn't find them in any bookstore. All right. Then the movies came out, sold out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they can't go all the way because they have to live this life that they're looked upon like good little women. But then they go, you know what I mean, and have these conversations with their girlfriends.
And boy, they are.
And their gay friends, by the way.
Right, that's
So do any of the men here feel that they suppress their women or have suppressed women before with their
Good question. Good question.
Like and I asked that because I haven't, you know. I go to sex stores with my lady, you know. We try different type of things. I've been to fucking nudists and sex resorts with ladies.
Oh, so then men that move like you really are in place to have the best sex ever with women. Ever. Because when you make a woman feel free and not ashamed of her desires and that freak shit, she gives you everything.
Right.
I think that's true.
But see, this is the thing though. We're dealing with like on this panel, you know, this is our, you know, mostly for the most part our core group, you know, we're dealing with different types of we're dealing with our crop of men, Jen, like the kind of men that we would normally talk to and hang out with, right? Mm-hmm. Versus like the masses. Like how the masses like look at a woman as supposed to be virtuous and technically supposed to be a virgin till she meets him, right? And then because this body count thing would even be a whole topic every other week, right? If that wasn't the case, it's a topic every other week. It's trending, so that wouldn't be trending every other week if women don't. But now though, things are changing, and these women are saying, fuck your body count, your ring, and everything else, you know? And so things are definitely changing, and I'm here for it. I'm so here for it.
I do want to pitch that question to the other fellas, though. Like, does body count affect your opinion?
No.
I've learned, I used to say no, but I learned that it depends. It depends on how your body count is, because I dated this girl one time, and we really wasn't talking about body counts, but she asked me, have you ever paid for sex? And I was like, no. have you ever got paid for sex? and she was like, well, this one time in college, you know, she was like, this dude, he been trying to get at me forever. He offered me money. And I was like, well, he would be just the 8th guy this month. So, and then I was like, you know what? In instances like that, body count matters. You know, 8 niggas in a month, that's 2 niggas every weekend if you busy all fucking week. You know, so I'm good, yo.
Listen, it's all about presentation. She didn't have to come out and say it like that.
You know,
it's all about presentation because it does make it sound whoa, you know, when you say it like that, even though
you know?
And I expect women to have more sexual encounters than a man for the most part, for most men, right?
Really?
And you're in a different. I'm not talking about gay. I'm not talking about gay men.
No, I'm talking about women too.
Listen, you get.
I did my time.
Listen, I'm not saying. I'm not saying. Well, I'm just saying. Like sometimes I look at gay people and think, "Damn, man, they got great lives because you got guys." I'm sure there's guys without sex drives and everything, but I'm saying, and you have like dual incomes. I mean, you're traveling. You don't have kids.
The real win
you don't have kids for the most part.
The real win is dating someone with the same shoe size. Your wardrobe just doubles overnight.
That's true, dude. Awesome. Never thought about that.
That's funny.
But it's kind of funny the presentation because, like I said, I think young women have more. I think that's more of a young person thing, in my opinion. I think like when you're 18, 19 years old, you think it's important. And maybe you're saying that's changing now, but I'm thinking the older I got, the less important. It was never really important to me, but when I think about it, you know, I'm like, does it really matter? I mean, really doesn't matter as long as they're not carrying, you know, you're protecting yourself.
I never understood the point of the body count argument. I'm like, what are we doing with this information? Are you going to hunt these guys down?
Right.
Like Liam Nielsen?
Right.
What is this?
I want to know what they look like, their dick size, their freaking text bucket. I need to know.
Like, what is this supposed to do? Like, I don't know. Because when look, man, I've never asked that. I never cared.
Right.
You know, I just want to know, how wide your mouth opens most of the time. That's just it. Like I worry about the important shit.
What that mouth do?
Yeah.
And I really think that when it comes to men, and I think this is probably the Scarlet Letter, you know, all the way in the beginning of time when it comes to men, I think that there's a bit of envy that it doesn't come easy to them and that they can't make money off of it. Because I guarantee you, when I was watching this thing and I heard how much money a woman in Vegas was pulling in, I was like, what am I doing wrong?
see, but a lot of it's been spoken a lot. Penis envy has been spoken about a lot, but I think vagina envy is way worse. Like the vitriol men spew because they're not, you know what I mean, as easily sexed as women are. And that, I think that plays a factor too. They get pissed off that women have more access to sex, no matter what they look like and no matter what tax bracket they're in. Yeah. Men have to look like something or have something in their account. Because you could be broke, but you got to be fine. And if you're not fine, then you got to have money. And those are kind of like the two things that men suffer through. While women, she could show up 400 pounds. We seen a bitch yesterday, 350 pounds with 8 kids. Somebody's climbing on that shit.
Absolutely.
Multiple times.
Climbing and backflipping and going
rappelling down the other side and
on her shoulder, on this shoulder and shit like that.
Leaving breadcrumbs so you can find your way back.
Right. Now, a man who's 350 pounds with 8 kids to take care of, how often do you think he's going to get laid? Right? Mark Randall, I got to disagree with this, Mark Randall. You're usually smarter than this, Mark. What's going on? He said 50 Shades of Grey was about how women can be bought, and write the same book about a roofer that lives in a single wide trailer. See how that one sells. That's a lie. You know why that's a lie? Because again, this is why I tell men to go see what women like. Okay. When you go to the fucking strip, when you go to the strip joint, The male strip joint, these motherfuckers are pretending to be construction workers. These motherfuckers are pretending to be firemen. They're not pretending to be wealthy men. They are pretending to be men that could just pick up women. Pick them up off the floor. So 50 Shades of Grey is not about a woman can be bought. And you can do the same movie, okay, about a man that's a roofer and lives in a single wide trailer. Have you seen a Ryan Gosling movie?
Jen, are you saying that women fantasize about men that can perform actually great physical feats?
Yes.
Like bench press them and throw them on the shoulder and, you know what I mean, and pat the ass.
Yes. Let me tell you something. No Say is a fireman. I don't know why he ain't working that angle. Shit, that you gotta play a card. You gotta play a card. No Say
and a wife. So
semantics. Just kidding.
Get in the way.
Just kidding. We're respecting the wifey.
I gotta stand by your woman.
I like to read an excerpt from an article, the Review of General Psychology. Okay.
Let's hear it.
When men have power, women are not allowed to enjoy sex. So this seemingly implies that men use their greater power to stifle female sexuality. When women lack political and economic power, they may need to use sex to control men and gain resources. So they might try to restrict each other's sexuality very strongly. In contrast, women have plenty of alternative sources of power. They have less need to restrict men's access to sex. And so they can relax the controls on female sexuality. Essentially what they're saying is that the more power women have, the more they say, come get it, boys.
True. Very true. Because the women I know who are well off, they act like men. They're like, bring your ass over here, fuck me, I'll leave the money on the dresser. No, you can't spend the night. Hands down, they're all the same, especially 40 and over. They're all like that. And they got money, get the hell up out of here. Like
maybe I should start dealing with somebody 40 and over. I don't know now.
Why have you not?
Right, exactly. Like, what are you doing?
No.
Because they want me to come over at 9 p.m.
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
That's your bedtime.
That's really early.
Go over at 9 and then go somewhere else at midnight. That's a fucking win-win.
There you go.
Let's see what James talking about. Thank you for the super chat. James Oko says, would y'all say women spur shame more than men?
Shame.
Oh, okay. Would y'all say women slut shame more than men? Stay away from my husband. That's a great question. See, James, you got it in you.
Example.
Yeah, you know what? But the woman, the woman he cheats with is always the whore, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now that's a better example.
Great question, because I would say that women slut shame, but they're following men. They want the approval of men. That is why they're slut shaming. That's my opinion. I'll give you an example, right? When a woman is single and she wants to be chosen by men or deemed worthy to be chosen by a man, and she sees how men react to the sexy thing. She a hoe, she a slut. What is that woman gonna do? Them fucking hoes, that's so true. She a hoe. She slept with how many men? Why is she doing that? Because men are watching and she wants to be chosen by the men. And we call those pick-me's. They agree with whatever men think about women or whatever their mama told them that was in the Bible. But even that was written by men. So I think women do slut shame other women, but they're following men. That's what I think. The approval of men, because they want to be worthy in the eyes of a man. So I have to act like I'm an innocent something or other. And we've had them up here on the panel before, and we've seen women do that.
But I'm going to take it one step further. Going back to the modern woman. The modern woman, you notice more modern women aren't doing that. They're more like, go girl, do your thing, blah, blah, blah. You're seeing more of that.
Well, those women have always, those women have always existed. But you're right. It's abundant now, where now these women have, anthems, like song anthems now. You know what I mean? This hot girl summer, city girls, or whatever the fuck they call themselves, that type of thing. So women are, more likely to champion other women now, but it's because a lot more women are choosing to be single. So now even the ones that were like, oh, I got to act a certain way. It's like, wait a minute, now I want to be single too. So now I got to go on that side. right?
Yeah.
I got to be with the girls who never cared to begin with. But yeah, women slut shame all the time, but they're seeking the approval of men. That way the man could be like, word, right? She a hoe, right? Yeah, she a hoe, but I'm single. Yeah, I've seen that happen.
In my experience, intelligent men who are actually out there on their way to being well off or doing very well for themselves, they do not marry the pick me. It is the average working man or below average man who seeks out the doting and coddling and enabling pick me.
Can we explore that for a minute? Because I've said this before, and they wanted to burn me at the stake like a witch and put a scarlet letter on me.
I will say this one thing before you get into this, Jen. Here's my thing. I always think about the worst. I always prepare for the worst. Mm-hmm. And I always say to myself, I marry a woman who's a complete moron. She looks great. She's the doting wife. She's what everyone claims that the kind of woman that you should have, but she's an idiot. And I'm sitting on a good amass of money, and something happens to me, and maybe I slip out into a coma or whatever for a couple of months. I'm thinking that when I wake up, this idiot is going to sell my goddamn empire for a bunch of magic beans and some Andrew Tate tickets. I'm thinking that this is what this woman is going to do. Like, you have to, that person has to be able to hold it down for your family and your legacy if something happens to you. Do you men think about that? Do you? You have to have forward thinking, man. You got to think forward. Anyway, go ahead, Jim.
So, Mark Randall, yeah, you're off. You're way off, honey. You're way off. Like, you keep saying, what if Christian Grey was X, Y, and Z? There are thousands of movies out where the man had no fucking money and the woman was dying to ride his dick because he was attractive or because he was more attractive than the boring husband she had at home. Like, there are where you been? This is America. There are thousands of movies out. It's not about Christian Grey had money. That is why that is why when strippers come out, they're dressed like they're not dressed in a fucking suit. They're dressed as construction workers, firemen, police officers, regular blue collar guys who would just happen to be able to throw her over their shoulder. They're not dressed like Christian Grey. You're not understanding women. We're trying to explain women. All right. If I was Andrew Tate, you'd listen to me. I'm telling you, I'm trying to explain women. Take it from a woman. What I was going to say before was that piggybacking off of the first thing you said, Haran, I always thought from my observation, because I'm not a man, I can't speak for men, I can just observe. But from my observation, the more money or more attractive a man is, he gives less a fuck about body count. It's always the jackals online or the Al Bundys that are constantly talking about body count. You don't see, matter of fact, wealthy men wait for the woman that everybody else, all these little YouTube minions call a hoe and slut. Every single one. Lori Harvey, wealthy, very attractive men, okay, are waiting for that chick to finish dating that guy so they can date her. They're not thinking about body count. They're thinking about, I want to date that next, while these fucking clowns online are worrying about body count. And here we are. Everybody's wealthy. Lori's wealthy. Michael B. Jordan is wealthy. Damson Idris is wealthy. Future is wealthy. And they're all having a gay old time, a good old time, a gay old time. Right? But the guys online, the little ogres, the ones that don't work out, the ones that don't have a lot of money, are constantly calling other women these names. Why is that? Is it a tax bracket thing? Is it a thing where it takes and removing the tax bracket? Is it a thing of age and maturity, perhaps? Or is it a thing where men just, some certain type of personalities of men don't care? What is it? But I do notice that in a higher tax bracket, men give less of a fuck about all that shit that these clowns constantly talk. The Wall, she this age, she got kids. I mean, Lauren Sanchez married the richest motherfucker out. Okay, just married him. And she's in her 40s and she has kids of her own. So it's like, again, there's a real world and there's YouTube. So do you think it's a tax bracket thing? Do you think the richer you are, the less you care about stupid shit? I mean, no, Saint, you said that you don't care. You didn't care.
No.
Ron, you said you didn't care. Kari, you said you didn't care.
Yeah, I don't care as long as she wasn't a porn star. I'm good. You know?
Okay.
I mean, look, man, I'm confused. Wait 1 second, Kyle. I'm confused. Y'all got to really pick a struggle, or at least pick a line, you know, because it's here's the thing. Here's the thing. No, here's the thing. Which one is it? Is it these girls are getting impregnated and strangled up, you know what I mean, and abandoned by the Pookies and the Ray Rays, or broke as hell? Or they got to be Christian Grey with money and status? Which one is it? Like, which one? Because I'm confused. Which one is it? Is it dependent on the degree of logic that you're trying to dodge, or is it maybe that, you know, maybe in some degree Pookie and Ray Ray and Christian Grey maybe had something that a lot of you just didn't have, even if you don't or do have money?
Do you think it's just confidence?
Do you think it's just misogyny, though?
I don't know.
Do you think it's just straight? Do you think it's just straight no chaser misogyny? Because even with your question, it doesn't matter what a woman does. These motherfuckers take issue with it. That to me shows a bias. It's not like, oh, I don't like the hoes because then, you know, there's some, oh, I don't like the women that met. Oh, I don't like the way. It just seems like a constant barrage of complaints about women, which to me sounds like misogyny. Because you said pick a struggle, they can't. There's always something that's bothering them about women. But again, I say, is it a certain tax bracket or is it a certain aesthetic? Because wealthy men or men that are attractive do not have these complaints about women. So we got to call a spade a spade. When you look in the mirror and when you look in the bank account, what do you see? Why are you constantly complaining about women? Because attractive men, very attractive men, or strong men, okay, men that just stay in the gym, or men that have a lot of money, or men that are mature, are not worried about these things. So what is the difference?
I'll tell you what it is. I think it is because a wealthy man, a good-looking man, they have power in a relationship. They have a sense, they have some power. They're not powerless. So the person that doesn't have the wealth, the person that's not good looking, the only power they had was to shame a woman into feeling bad about what she wanted and what she was, you know, and what she was doing with her body. So now that's going away, and they're losing that power. That was their one ace in the whole card, or whatever, you know. And that's what I think it is. A rich man has power. He has choices. You know what I mean?
The power is feeling that there's options. That
yes.
So no saying. Are you saying that average men are out here in the cold?
Not bad. No, but they have to work harder.
They are because the majority of the world is average. The majority of the world is average. So yes, they're going to have to work harder.
You think they're
right? But average women can still end up with somebody wealthy.
Yes.
That's the difference.
Right.
Yes.
Average man and the average woman will never be on the same plane.
Yeah, like check this out. Check this out.
2 different levels of average.
Okay, but check this out. Hold on. Let me look this up real quick. And this is probably gonna lie because he's worth. I had no idea this man owned the shit that he owns. Okay, so if you listen to a quick Google, Shaquille O'Neal worth $400 million. I think he's worth even more than that. All right, because of the shit he owns blew my mind. Okay, Shaquille O'Neal. Okay. Just a quick example. Shaquille O'Neal with $400 million, okay? A girl that worked at Home Depot, right, got his attention. She worked at Home Depot. Sure, making minimum wage now. Now, can a man that works at Home Depot get the attention of, let's say, I don't know, give me some money, a wealthy woman that's attractive?
What I just trying to draw up.
Well, women don't really jump in the DMs.
Contingent on something, Jen.
They would have to look like that dude that got arrested with the light eyes.
He looked like Jeremy.
Fuck him and his model contract.
David, I saw him in the latest GQ. He's still working.
Fuck him. I've been pounding runways for 6 fucking years.
So the answer
is fucking
yes. The answer is yes.
Please.
Depending on your eye color.
Okay, Kari, but then it goes back. For the record, that man is fine even without that eye color.
I cannot
Okay.
I cannot disagree.
Okay. So then it goes back
and fuck him at the same time, right, David?
So Kari, thank you, Mark Randall, Jennifer Lopez, right? Okay, so it goes back to Kari, what No Saint said. Right? It's the power. You have to have something. And I think what's missing from all these guys that are worried about body count, right? Because when you have nothing, you worry about the most minute shit. And I'm familiar with that mindset because I'm from the hood. And in the hood, we ain't got shit. So if you got a brand new pair of sneakers, you have to keep them clean.
Yeah.
You got to keep them clean. And if somebody steps on you, there's hell to pay.
They gonna be on me today.
No, it's real. It's real. It's real. There's not. It's real.
It's real.
Because so when you come from a place of lack, you hang on to stupid shit. So these men who are like body count, body count, body count. When you're worth $400 million, you don't give a fuck because you got $400 million. Or when you're Jeremy Meeks,
so you're saying you don't power. Or confidence.
Well, so all right, confidence. Let's pick that one apart because I think with women, it's always an it factor, regardless of income, power, or anything like that. Is that magic combination of factors that men struggle to figure out, and that women won't reveal because it's individual. But yeah, it's just like being a famous singer or something like that. There is some magic combination that is, getting you that ass and bless you for that. But
interesting.
I remember this one, like it was a Wendy Williams thing. She said that talking about you think that the cheating, like let's say the successful guy with a cheating wife, that she's running off on weekends with some other dude or, sneaking out late at night with him or something like that. And she's like, no, it's their driver.
Yeah.
They get into the Bentley and she says, oh, I forgot something, goes back into the house. And, the driver or one of the staff knocks her out real fast in the laundry room and she gets back in the car like nothing happened. Now there is some it factor right there. And that is absent of income and all that kind of stuff.
So I wanted to address this because these guys, I'm telling you, they'll die on this hill. Like, and what's hilarious? Yeah, but what's hilarious to me is that men who are not rich speaking for men that are rich, and they speak for them, with such conviction. Rich men care about body count, mind you. Never been rich, will never be rich. Doesn't even have rich friends. I feel bad. Do you want some of my rich friends? We could all hang out. It's like, but they're constantly speaking for rich men. And you don't know what it feels like to be wealthy. Your friends aren't even wealthy. You're not even around wealth. So it's like, it's idiotic. It's like me telling you the ins and outs of a doctor because I've been to the doctor. Right? These guys have a TV and they watch athletes all day on television, or they watch superstars all day on television, and they think they know how a wealthy mindset works, right? So when he says, like, I mean, this dude is adamant, that's not true. Look at all those exclamation points. Look at it. And he's doing capital letters. Rich men care about body count. You're not a rich man. Okay? And the truth fucking hurts, don't it? But you're not a rich man. You cannot speak for a rich man. It is idiotic. It is a reality that you do not live in. It's bizarre that y'all do that so adamantly. It's bizarre. Look at this. Michael Jordan, Elon, Bezos, Zuck, and many other people do care about body count. You're not in their tax bracket. This other thing kills me. He just wanted to fuck. Newsflash, women just want to fuck. You think if that young girl, that beautiful young girl, the Home Depot, you think she wouldn't just want to fuck Shaq, get a bag, and then go fuck the guy that she really likes? You don't understand the nature of women. You think the nature of women is what Kevin Samuels and Andrew Tate is telling you. Take it from a woman who's been around women of all kinds and calibers, from strippers to fucking corporate CEOs. They do not think the way fucking Andrew Tate and Kevin Samuels told you they think. But you motherfuckers will die on that hill like a bunch of idiots. You can't relate.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot relate. And here we are trying to school you so you understand. You care about body count because you have nothing else. You're not fucking attractive and you're not wealthy. And we're trying to free you from that. We're trying to free you from that. Understand that you may overlook a woman, okay, that will give you the time of day that you know you're not worthy of, but you're worried about her body count. You are not wealthy. You won't be wealthy, okay? I put $5 on that. From here to your death, you're not going to be wealthy. You're not going to be physically fit. You're not going to have a six-pack. You're not going to be over 6 feet tall. So listen. Listen every now and then. Do not die on that hill. Stop speaking for rich men. You're not a rich. You don't even know rich men. Can you look at your phone right now, pull a rich man and call him and put him on speakerphone? I can. This is stupid. They're incorrigible. They are incorrigible. Like, we're fucking trying to teach you. Jesus H.
He just wanted to fuck. Sir, I'm pretty sure you just want to fuck too when you meet women. Well, here's the thing. I hope you just want to fuck, because if you want to have a relationship and you want to get married to every single woman you come in contact with, that's some creepy shit. And if that is the case, that's the problem with a lot of you guys. You need to stop wearing your goddamn emotions on your sleeve. That shit is creepy. It's weird. It's clingy. Just be a dude sometimes. Just be a dude.
Yo, women just be wanting to fuck, yo.
Right. And
thank you, Kyrie. Please teach him. Please teach him, Kyrie. Please, especially now. Especially the women
now.
Especially now. Women be sending bat signals. This chick posted on her story, I need to get dick down.
Yep.
Right. Yep. And
I sent her a message what time?
See, but it's a thing too that, again, I hate using misogyny to cover everything, because I don't think everything is misogyny. But in this case, they're trying to diminish women by saying he just wanted to fuck, because they're thinking that they're coming from a mindset of women wanting a ring. Everybody, I want a ring. I want a ring. Right. The only women that want rings are the ones that are indoctrinated that she's worthy if she's a missus. Let me tell you, women are filing for divorce 80% of the time. It's like you motherfuckers pick and choose what you want to listen to. Women are filing for divorce 80% of the time. So when men say men control marriage, women control divorce. AKA getting the fuck away from the man she married.
Yep.
Women control divorce. They file for divorce 80%. That's a staggering statistic. So you control marriage and women control, I want to get the fuck out of this marriage.
And now
80% of the time.
And now women are not putting the same value on marriage that they once did. They're like, for what?
They don't want to listen. They don't want to listen.
And they don't want to listen to that. So, but that's, you know what? I see how unraveled they become when they try to, because they've been dangling that, well, he won't marry her. No one's gonna marry her for decades, and now women are like, keep it. Don't want your fucking ring.
And this is so wild. You know what's wild about this? Here's the wild shit. You got people. And I see the moron in the private chat, and I see these guys in the chat right here.
I mean, but none of them are wealthy. None of them are wealthy, and none of them will ever be wealthy. And they're asking me, what do I know? Again, between you and I, who do you think can call a wealthy man right now? Between you and I, who do you think could call a wealthy man right now? Between you and I. Whether he wants to fuck or not, because trust me, if he's in my phone, I probably wanted to fuck or fucked already. So you're not saying anything. What is that supposed to mean? What is that supposed to mean exactly? Like fucking is wrong? No fucking. Fucking is wrong. No fucking.
You have 4 people on the panel.
No fucking.
You have 4 people on the panel who have been in the entertainment world for over a decade. Whether it be modeling, whether it be acting, whether it be music. If you think we have absolutely no understanding of how rich people think or been around rich people and have seen a lot of the wildest and most weirdest shit that you can't even begin to imagine, you need to really understand this. It's clear that we're speaking from a world that we know about and you people have no clue. Everything you think you know about rich people, you know from watching YouTube, or you turn on Netflix, or you saw some weird episode of Black Mirror. That's the only thing you motherfuckers know about rich people. And you swear that you're the goddamn authority on this shit. Trust me, I'm not rich.
Oh my God.
Only one of us can actually go outside right now and spend $2,000 and not be broke and fucking panicking after we spend it. So please simmer down and chat show. Act your wage, act your body count. Okay? Chill out. And